I think we're live. I'm hoping we are. What's up, Browns fan? Stretch CPO, I rock. Ben Tom. Ben Coombs, Terry 3G, my mods. What's up, Big Shorty? Jimmy Ray, Dan of NJ. What's up, Ron? Gary? Nathan? SMY Tree? Jimmy Ray? Friedrich? Jay Jennings? Going a little fast now. Walter Sheens? Jimmy Ray again? Jimmy P? What's up, Thunder Falcon? Tonosaurus? You rock. Jay Schaff? What's up, Drew? Jeffy, if I didn't say that. Michael? Bill? Winston says we're live, and I believe him. Are we getting cat action? I do have the window open. From Belfast, while you're up late. Top of the morning, Tony. What's up, Tyler? Tonefish. I think, see, James went by real quick. Bill, Coots. What's up, Jeff? Get A? Yeah, David Lee Roth retiring. I saw that. You know, good for him for, you know, making an event out of it. No, you rock, Vens. What's up, Christopher? Chevelle sounded sweet. Good. What's up, John? Down in Charlotte. What's up, Nick? Papa Blue, Big Shorty. Ah. Thanks. Yeah, this is the, thanks, Coots. This is the, you've seen this one before. You know, it's that old chestnut. The charcoal burst Charvel. I like this one. Bought this one on the whim. $4.99 without a case. That's got to be ornery if it's the more stripy tail. What's up, Thunder Falcon? Alexander, KG, funny ass guitar guy. Hey, yo, tactical 6-string. What's up, Fast Eddie? What's up, Autism Rocks? Cowtown Customs. Corey's Garden. Is this my speaker? What's up, buddy? Speaker? Oh, The Metal Edge, Brian. Overlooked LP from 2020. I highly recommend looking at the Glenn DeLon Moonshine Mountain. I've been a fan of Glenn since 2009. I think he's an underrated artist. I agree. I hung out with Glenn and didn't even realize it. Didn't even realize who he was. Because, you know, you look one way on camera, and then when you're in front of someone, I didn't put it together. And I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. Really nice guy. And then we hung out again. Like, it was at a party. And there were a lot of cool people at that party. Like Rick Nielsen and like Jeff Skunk Baxter. And it was a pretty cool party that Roland put on. And, you know, I think Larry Carlton was there. And, yeah. That dude, Glenn, he played the next day at the booth, and I talked to him a little bit more then. Yeah, he did a cover of Electric Eye. Oh boy, now I'm dating myself. I wonder what the date is on that video. He did a cover of Judas Priest's Electric Eye back in the day, and I thought he just knocked it out of the park. And that's probably how he came up on my radar. And I was following him for years. He would do all kinds of covers. He's a thumb picker, right? And a good player. What's up, James Murphy? No, this isn't a wide neck one. It's definitely more narrow. What's up, Jack? Forgot how much I like this guitar. It's a good one. What's up, Johnny Rock? What's up, Zach? Yeah, $4.99. That's a pretty good price. I was pretty happy with that. It was listed with no pick as the one with the pick guard. So if this is the San Dimas, what's the other one? The SoCal. It was listed as a SoCal. And they were like, you know, it's a black burst SoCal. I'm like, there's no black burst SoCal. There's a black SoCal. I don't even think there might not have even been a black SoCal. I'm like, is it white? What color is that guitar? Because it was a white SoCal for sure. There probably was a black too. And he's like, no. I said, so it's got a pick guard? He goes, no pick guard. I'm like, no pick guard. And then I looked up the Charvel website and I saw, you know, when he said no pick guard and it was a black burst, I was like, oh, well, that's the guitar right there, right? It's called Charcoal Burst. I'm like, there it is right there. So I ordered it right up. I bought it. Mike, never heard of these people. Did they know they were partying with Steve from Boston? They did, because I kept yelling it. You are with Steve from Boston. And there was a line formed out the door as people ran for the exits. What's up, Helene from Sweden? What's up, Ricky? Yeah, the Charvel's a Mim. It's the old Mima. Greetings, Norway. Yeah, you're probably getting dark there soon. Real dark. Wicked, wicked dark. Norway, you're up there. That's a low sun in the winter and all sun in the summer. The two extremes. What's up, Pete? What's up, RJ? I don't work at a music store anymore. Last time I worked in a music store was a very long time ago. But, yeah, this I got from Guitar Center used. So I did notice that prices have gone up. Of course, everybody knows that Gibson raised prices because the second they did, it like blew over everybody's Facebook and spread like wildfire. But Fender already did it. Fender jumped that gun months ago. I think the EVH Frankie has officially gone. It was $15.99 or maybe it was $16.99. I think it's up to $19.99 now. There's a Fender already did that weeks ago. I suppose even months ago at this point. But Gibson raised prices. In fact, I was just going to do, in my video about how the SG was like the best price point because at $14.99 it was like, a full-on standard with the crown inlay and the nice side binding and fret nibs and everything. And, that blew it all up. Now, that ends that. So, yeah, I think the SG went from, I wrote down some prices here. I got them on my press list. What'd they do? The LP Classic went from $19.99 to $22.99. The SG went from $14.99 to $16.99. And the LP Standard went from $24.99 to $26.99. So, actually, if you think about it, the LP, if everybody's going up $200, if it goes up $200 on $14.99, that's a much higher percentage than going up on $24.99. So in a very real sense, the LPs didn't go up as much as lesser guitars. You see what I'm saying? It seems like they just went up by price and not by percentage. What else? There was on the same day, I noticed a bunch of synth makers bumped their prices up. Roland bumped their prices up, and Korg. It's, I follow that stuff pretty regularly, and I look to see what the prices are new, because if you're looking at one used, you want to know how much you're saving off of new. So I see those prices on a pretty regular basis, and the new price would fluctuate between like $9.99 and $10.99 depending on the retailer, but most places, even Amazon, would sell it for $9.99. That was pretty much the price, like $9.99 for the DS88, $12.49 now. I thought that was a pretty good jump. That's 25%. I mean, none of those Gibson prices, the highest one is like 14%, right? 8%, 14%, but that Juno went up 25%. Jesus. And the DS61 went from $6.99 to $8.49. So electronics seem to be hit, I think, worse than the guitar market right now. Maybe it's the whole chip thing, right? And then Korg raised all their prices pretty much across the board. And again, I follow the Korg market pretty closely because if you're going to buy, a used synthesizer, I want to know how much it is new to see how much I'm saving. So I always know the new prices just to see how good of a deal I'm getting. And yeah, those all shot up. The biggest jump was probably the mini log, and you wonder if it's because it's harder to get those analog chips, if it's a chip thing, because that went from $549 to $629. That's like an $80 jump on $550. Well, that's a pretty good chunk there. That's a more than 10. That's like a 15% jump or so. The Wave State went from $699 to $749, so that's pretty small. The Wave Mod went from $799 to $849, again, pretty small update, especially when you consider the relative percentage. The Op6 went from $799 to $849, and the NT1, which is their little kit, it's like their cheap little entry-level kit, went from $99 to $119. So there's definitely been, a little bit of creep in the, in the retail market. So there is always a lag between retail pricing and used pricing. If you were at all considering getting anything used, now is the time to do it. Of course, Reverb, they already have the 2026 prices posted, so they're a different thing. But when you go to like Guitar Center Used or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, eventually these prices are all going to catch up. So it's probably a little bit of a sweet spot right now as you're in the lag. For example, a synth that was $549 and you used to be able to get for like $449. Sometimes you'd see it for $399. That same synth is $629 now. And so, now $399 versus $629, that's a pretty good discount over new. I don't think you're going to see $399 again. I think the new low for that used is going to be $499 because they just know what they go for new. And on Reverb, it'll be $762 plus 148 shipping. That place kills me. What's up, Benjamin? So, it's just a crazy thing that I think it's fine. There was a lag time between. How long can you shut things down before the cost of cranking things back up again become? You could see this coming. You could see it coming a mile away. So it's just finally here. You saw early ones and things like computer chips and video cards where that whole thing has just gone cuckoo bonkers. Like, 100 to 300% markups over retail. It's a $500 card. The minimum you'll find it for is $1,000, and most people are asking $1,500. And there's a few brave souls out there asking $2,000. What? Someone will pay it, right? You don't see that, I think in the guitar market. I do think, and I'm a firm believer, we'll see what happens. I've been following the guitar market for about 13, 14 years now. And you see boom and bust periods. And I think that you will see people who were going to try guitar because they were in a pandemic and maybe I always wanted to try guitar, maybe I'll try guitar, and it doesn't work out for them, to dump it. Or somebody who was still working and, said, what, I'm bored, I'm not going to go on a vacation this year, maybe I'll buy myself a new guitar like this or like that because why not? I'm stuck at home. That's what I'll do. I'll throw it into I'll throw the money into my hobby, right? And those guitars, will crowd the used market at some point. Eventually, the used market will come back. Before the pandemic hit, Guitar Center was rocking between 48 and 52,000 items at any one time. And they just cracked 33,000 for the first time. They were down below They got down into 15, 16,000 I think at their lowest, but they were hovering around the 20s for a while. Then they're up in the mid 20s for a while. Then they finally cracked 30 a few weeks ago, and now they stay above 30. They rarely go below 30,000. They're around 32, 33, and then they get back down to 30 again. So as you can see, the inventory is starting to flow again, and you'll see that happen. I wouldn't doubt if Guitar Center gets back up to that, 50,000 mark. Because it's quick money for them. They take it in and they try and flip it as quickly as they possibly can, which is different than new. Depends on the demand for the margins. Sometimes it's a whole different thing. What's up, Landon? Here in New Zealand, construction is running out. Around here, the road construction is out of control. I think because we had such a wet summer. There, the water pipes they're putting in, huge construction projects going on. A lot of giant storm drain pipes, maybe because we had so much rain. And it looks like they're putting in, I think, new sewer pipes. It's an enormous project. There's a lot of banging and hammering, and it's crazy. It never. That's what I'm realizing. The friggin' road projects around here they never end. You want a Strobo Stomp real bad, kind of pricey. The Strobo, I'll tell you one, the Strobo Stomp is a really nice, don't get me wrong, it's a really nice pedal. Very accurate. But sometimes I have a hard time reading what the stupid letter is they're trying. The LED or LCD or whatever the hell that thing is. Only a few of the colors really work well. Some of the colors are hard to read. There's only one decent viewing angle. Right? They needed to put like an IPS screen in that thing, and it is like total TN, or even like VA. It is bad. So I love it because it's more accurate than any of my other ones, and so I use it for intonation, and I use it when I really, really have to be accurate. But it's a kind of frustrating to use on a regular basis. I'm more likely to use the clip-on. You can read the letters better. I'm like, is that a B? What is that? Is that a B? I'm looking at it's a little tough to read sometimes. Just like Chicago winter and construction season. Yeah, pretty much. It's winter and construction season. Pretty much. I missed the boat on the Guitar Center sale. JC 800 head for 600. Oh, you can get deals on there. I'm trying to think of there was one there recently. It was like a gorgeous SG, with the Clouson tuners, and it was like a 61. It was like $7.99. Gone. There was a couple of them. I was like, whoa, that is freaking cheap. What's up, Chris? On a waiting list for a Fractal 9, Guitar Man? They're nice. What are they? What's the price on the FM9? I'm thinking it's got to be. Is it $14.99, $13.99? Thinking it's less than the big boy, but more than the little one. It's that middle. It's that middle space. I've never tried the Strobo clip. I used the I think it's right. Is this it? I tend to use the Polytune. Go to Polytune Cam. Right there. by TC Electronics. That's pretty good. Nice and easy to read. Yeah, I think I got another one here too. Another Polytune. Right there. And then I have a couple of Unitunes, which were cheaper. Polytunes are $50. Unitunes were $30, but a Sweetwater exclusive. So they're not. You don't see them as much out there because it's just one company sold. One retailer had them. The DK24 $9.99 now $10.49. Yeah, everything's up about $50 across the board, $50 to $100 across the board. $15.99, yeah. Yeah, the Snark is good. I've used the Snark. It's good enough for regular tuning. For intonation, I'd use the Strobo tuner. Because you really do need that level of, that last little nth degree of accuracy. Yeah. Who's going to be buying all these new... Well, that's the whole thing. When you raise prices, you always risk a drop in sales. There will be a drop in sales. But the question is whether... That's what we call price elasticity. And that is whether the change, the delta of... what is it? It's like the revenue... It's like the change in price versus the change in revenue. Sometimes you can raise prices, lose sales, but still net higher revenue and higher profits because you more than made up for the loss in sales with the price increase. And then it works the other way too. And what generally happens is price elasticity is generally focused around substitutes in the market, which is why most companies want to have some monopolistic component to their product, so there is no substitute, right? There is no substitute for Gibson. There is no substitute for Fender. There is no substitute for what insert brand here. So they get a monopoly, usually through a trademark, copyright, or patent. And then they use that to have something that sets them apart from somebody else. And, as long as... So sometimes you can lower prices and you'll have increased sales, but you still lose money. Again, it all goes by price elasticity. Luxury goods tend to be more price elastic. Necessities are price inelastic. In other words, if you've got to drive to work every day and the price of gas goes up by 30%, are you buying 30% less gas? No, you still got to drive to work every day, right? Some things, it doesn't matter, right? Period. Same, cigarettes were the other one, so-called sin taxes, right? Because those are very price inelastic. And so if the price of cigarettes went up by 50 cents or $1, people they were addicted to cigarettes. They still bought them. Didn't matter. Not the same for things that are considered luxuries. So when prices really go up on certain items, they take a hit. Things where there's easy substitutes in the market, like ice cream, right? Premium ice cream versus low-cost ice cream. And, cars. Right, a premium car versus a local. There's plenty of substitutes in the market. Some would say a bike is a substitute, right? Transportation, right? How are you defining markets now? What are we, back in school again? Quick, we need some dive bombs. Wake up. Wake up. Now I'm going to need somebody to step up to the board and draw me a price quantity chart. Let's work this out. Is he right? I'm seeing a lot of hands up over here. Yeah, a little micro econ. There you go. I did hear that David Lee Roth retired. Did you hear? Gibson prices went up. What did somebody, trying to remember what it was now. It was some ridiculously old meme. You know, it could have been the old, first offender. No, first a Gibson, then a Fender. You know, that dead horse has been beaten a billion times. It's down to its atomic structure at this point. And someone will post it on some forum. They're like, hey guys, check this out. And you just stand there and go, kill me. Kill me now. Well, DLR did sort of hint at health issues, Gary. I think you're right. DLR might have some health issues because he kind of, he's always been a little cryptic, right? He's, he's got this, I don't know, he's got this way about him where he's like, Dave, spit it out, Dave. What are you saying? But he's always been, I don't know if we talked about this before. Dave's actually a pretty guarded guy. He kind of wears his heart out on his sleeve, but only to a point. You wonder what's up with. It's like he's I don't know. I always wondered about Dave. Kind of an odd guy a little bit. But I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if because I agree. He was sort of hinting about that, wasn't he? I kind of took it the same way. Exactly. Just look at the M&Ms. They spell right? There you go. Dave's been demented for a long time. Well, Dave's been demented since his early 20s. I remember hearing interviews with him where he was just... But what you realize is that it's all a little what we would call shtickla. A little bit of the shtickla there, Dave. He's big on the shtick. And he had worked into this sort of act when he spoke with interviewers, without a doubt. Still has the same house in LA. Interesting. Yeah, I think Eddie. Yeah, exactly. Eddie was quiet about it too, and so was Norm Macdonald, because they know it's not, it's not a good look to be a rocker, and you know what I'm saying. Be a comedian, especially a comedian. I think particularly a comedian. He knew enough to say, you know what, cancer isn't funny, even on a comedian. So he sort of stayed away. His father's a doctor, maybe getting advice. Yeah, you wonder if Dave is a normal guy behind the act. Oh, sometimes people, you say, I don't know if he turns it off. You used to think that it was just a bit of a a dog and pony show all the time, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. And I'll tell you this. I have met people who I have watched their videos, right? And then when I met them, I was sure that when they were making their videos, that they were sort of, I don't know, putting on a little bit of like a video persona, like a video voice, a little bit maybe more alert, maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's like, or trying to be overly cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like over enunciating, trying to crack joke. Right? You're a different person in the video than you are in real life. But I met several people at several GitCons, and they were the exact same person in all those videos. And sometimes it was a little strange talking to them and say, "Oh wow, that isn't an act. That really is you. Wow, that really is you." So you wonder how much of it is an act, or he just really sort of is like that. I don't know. No, I never did meet Ace. I don't think I ever went to any of his. He was playing, I think, at the Greasy Luck a couple of years ago, but it was sold out. That'd be a good place to see him. That's a pretty small venue. Probably holds 550, 600 people. In Bay. Hey, what's up, Max? Warren DeMartini grew up rich? Yeah, Warren DeMartini. I did hear that. So did Kid Rock, right? His dad was like this, like had an orthodontist or like a dental practice. Made some good paper. Joe Walsh also plays the stoner persona? I don't know, man. Joe Walsh was pretty drunk on the Stern Show a few times. I think Joe Walsh might have permanent drunk voice at this point. You can't drink for 10 or 15 years, like pretty heavy, and not suffer, I think, some neurological damage. I don't know. He always seemed... I saw Joe Walsh live. He sounded amazing. It was really good. Really good. What's up, Super Lead 100? I can't help you with that, Somatic. I don't really use amps all that much. I'm not a good person to ask about an amp under 1,000. Never meet celebs and act like a girl. I clammed up around Rick Nielsen. And I'm usually pretty outgoing, too. I've said this many times, like ran away from David Bowie. I was like, oh, David Bowie. and we were out in a parking lot. A private, secure parking lot. And I could have just walked right up to him. I mean, this was our chance. But he was he had a group of like 3 or 4 people there. And they're all like enamored with him. I was holding the camera. I was there as an official photographer. I had friggin' press credentials. My wife was a reporter. I was her photographer. Should have just went over there. Get a quote for the local fish wrapper. Yeah, my dad was a dirt farmer. He stopped drinking and continued to act drunk. Definitely some permanency. I know some people. Ace Frehley is like that. Ace Frehley has a little bit of the permanent drunk. if you're drunk all the time for like 20 frigging years straight, you get some damage. I know people like that. You get permanent drunk voice. You never really come out of it, you know? Keith Richards is a classic example. Ozzy Osbourne is a classic example, although his might have been from drugs and drug use and not drinking. I don't know. I think he was a drinker too, right? Pretty heavy drinker. We hear him earlier. He's way sharp, lucid, right? Later on, it's like he's clever. You can hear his mind is going. He can't get the words out, right? Because he was stewed in alcohol for too long. you can't simmer yourself in alcohol for 20 years. It's gonna it'll hurt you. Yeah, Mike Stern, absolutely. Mike Stern is another one. Sort of has this slow, permanent drunk voice, right? Can never really, right? Never really, because he was much sharper, I think, 30 years ago. Without a doubt. Ozzy has a form of Parkinson's now, yeah. I'm thinking more like in 03, right? When he was at the top there, they had the TV show, right? They were like pretty much, sweeping the nation, the Osbournes, and it was sort of a thing for about a minute, where the Osbournes were like the, television family for pretty much a year. Now, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, beer concussion, exactly. That'll do it, man. You drink enough, long enough, and Stern dried out pretty early, though, back after he left Jacko's band. Oh, I don't know, dude. I met Stern in, I guess that would have been either 1990 or 1991. I think it was 1990, 90 or 91. And he was playing at the, he was playing at Night Stage in Cambridge, and the dude who cleaned the floors, right, the dude who was like the vacuumer for the store, wiped the windows and cleaned the floors, his grandfather owned that club. And we went there, and we had like the, pretty much the owner's seats right dead center at the owner's table, like this amazing, and then they kicked everybody out, and he was like, these guys can stay. And so we were hanging around. It was like it was at least like 90 minutes, I think, between sets, something like that, right? And I remember we went downstairs to meet him, and first of all, he was up at the bar getting a drink. Again, this is like 90 or 91, and we went over to say hi. And my friend Paul was there. He remembers it, and again, we were just so like excited to see Mike Stern. And there were these kids who were already there, again, college dudes like our age. So like, yeah, what was I in 1990? Like 24, right? College. And Mike was really drunk. He had just come off that set. And I was like, wow, this guy is pretty lit for someone who just did like a 90-minute set. He seems pretty lit. And the guy was like, oh, Mike, I just want to say, really love you. I just love your stuff and such a big fan. And Mike said something like, yeah, man, what was going on with the lights? And the dude was like, they look at each other like, what? He goes, yeah, man, there was something going on with the lights. It was just something with the lights. And they were going, no, man, no, it was fine. No, man, the lights were fine. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And me and my friend Paul look at each other like, what are we looking at? It was like so I'm just saying. And then we wound up going downstairs to meet them and get a group picture. So it was me, the grandson, my friend Paul didn't want to be in the picture. It was me, the grandson, and the group, Bob Berg, Mike Stern, and we're down in the green room, and they were all pretty drunk. And we were like, I was like, wow. What it told me was that he was an incredible player, even when really hammered, because he had just put on just an amazing set. And admittedly, I would definitely say that, and I don't know, maybe it's because I knew how drunk he was, the second set, it didn't have nearly as much energy as the first one. Not even close. So I don't know if they were just tired or what it was, but it was, you know what I'm saying? It was like a noticeable difference between the two sets. Anyway, Mike was pretty drunk that night, and like indecipherably drunk. Like, what are you talking about? Bob Berg is so overlooked. Most players only remember Brecker, but Bob was hip. Bob was hip. Oh, Bob was the shit. And so, wasn't Bob struck by a vehicle, right? He went out to, go to the store, and he was, crossing the street, and he was, struck by somebody, right? He was struck by a car. I think that's how he died. I don't think he died of cancer, unlike Michael Brecker. Michael Brecker died of cancer. But I used to have a poster of Michael Brecker on my wall when I was in college. God, Brecker. He was one of the first jazz acts I saw. He opened up, Brecker Brothers opened up with Mike Stern on guitar, opened up for Jack DeJohnette. That was my first so-called jazz show. And then right after that, I went to go see the Chicory Electric Group. And they were both pretty amazing shows. Exactly, there were 4 lights. What's up, Insane Music? Yeah, Chris Holmes. Joe Wall speaks like he's permanently drunk. That's what we were just saying, Alan. That if you drink long enough and heavy enough, you do seem to get a permanent drunk voice. That does seem to be a thing. Stern played great. In fact, that first set, he was on fire. And even the second set, his playing was fine. But, damn, he was having a hard time standing and having conversations. It was damn. Yeah, Chris Holmes from Wasp. He's still alive. I met him. I met him at an AM show. He's a nice guy. What's up, Mike Zarni? C.C. DeVille. Do you remember C.C. Banana? That's a tragic story. If you don't know about C.C. Banana, look it up. I don't know what was up with that. I don't think C.C. knew what was up with that. But it's a sad story. Eddie Vedder sounds perma-drunk? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Was he a heavy drinker? Well, that doesn't sound good. Insane. I don't know what those things are, but they don't sound good. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. So William Bachman says Joe Walsh playing Desperado on Stern is epic. You could not be more correct. So they're talking with Joe Walsh, and Stern's like, hey, Joe, isn't it true that, what's his name there? All I can think of is Glenn Fricker. Not Glenn Fry, the other one. The drummer there, Don Henley. He's like, doesn't Don Henley get pissed at you when you play Desperado? You're like, yeah. He's like, what's up with that? He goes, yeah, he doesn't like it when other people play it, and blah, blah, blah. He gets into this whole thing about how Don Henley does not like it when other people play Desperado. He's like, would you play it for us right now? He's like, sure. He's totally drunk. He's completely hammered on that show. He sits down at a friggin' little electric piano. It's almost like a DX7, right? That like bell sound, like that FM piano. And he cranks out a version of Desperado that is friggin' eye-watering. It is like, holy Christ, it is so good. He sounds so good. And his playing, and he hits all those little chords, and I was like, oh my God, this dude is fucking good. He is good. And they do it, he leaves, and there's a message on the machine that he had left over the weekend that basically says, "It's Joe. Don't ever call me again." Because he got in big trouble with Don. Don Henley found out he did the cover and was angry with him. And he doesn't want to blow his chance to be on some reunion tour because Don Henley's pissed at him. Thanks, Buzz Wilson. This buzz is on you. The coffee buzz. Oh, man. That sounds a little loud. There it is. No, Beat's still alive. Beat's still alive. Don't be bad-mouthing Joe. Who's bad-mouthing Joe? Those are the facts. Joe showed up drunk, played Desperado, and then called up the Stern Show and said, "Don't ever call me again," because he was pissed at them. Of course, he wound up going back on, but he was pretty angry. You watch Joe Walsh playing Desperado sitting next to Sam Kinison on YouTube. Yeah, those were the trouble years, the Kinison years. God, that dude. I'm sure he caused lots of problems over there, too, because he was a goddamn troublemaker. A colossal troublemaker. Can you imagine? Who was the other one? That dude who just passed away. Leslie. Right? Leslie West. It'd be like Joe Walsh, Leslie West. I mean, trouble. Sour. I want you to go to jail. Yeah. Lisa Gold. Yeah, I think George Flowers passed away, and who used to do it was the great, the Inquirer show. Oh, God, what was that dude's name? He passed away recently, too. Maybe within the last 5 years. Yeah, Leslie. I don't know why Don gets angry about it. I think Don feels very personal about that song. I think Don Henley's like, I don't want that song covered. I think when people try to do covers of it, I think You might be able to get a compulsory cover, but I think Don doesn't like it. He likes to shut covers down of that particular song for whatever reason. Desperado, it's like that's very personal, that particular song to him. So it just seems like it's a thing with him. He doesn't like other people doing Desperado. And so they're like, will you do it? And he's like, sure. It's like, oh my God. Sour, I know it's you, and I will call your parents and let the authorities know. Mark my words, Sour. Yeah, God, Sour. Yeah, Langford. Oh, God, that's right. Langford. I couldn't remember his name. Why the amp sounds so bad it could sound good on your streams? I don't know. I'm going through an interface. And just did it. That's what the sound I always get. Linda Ronstadt saying Desperado. Yeah, you wonder if you're allowed. See, the thing is in America, you can have a compulsory cover. And there's nothing the original artist can do about it. I don't know how that works in other countries, but in America, if you go through the right processes, that's a rule written by record companies. Because as much as the artist doesn't want it, the record company could see themselves earning more money by having somebody else cover the same song. Hey, these songs, they're good songs. They're pretty, few and far between. So let's make sure we can just capitalize on the good ones over and over and over and over and over again. So in America, we have the compulsory cover, and there's nothing Don can do about it. It's why it's called compulsory. But you got to have a pretty big outfit, I think, to be able to get away with that. And you've got to seek permission before you actually do it. I'm not using a 2i2, I'm using an 18i20. I think I used the 2i2 in one video. I bought it just for one video, just to do that, how to use an amp sim, because I felt like mine was too big and complicated looking. It was hard to explain, so I bought a simple one used for like $60 just to say, you plug it in here and go there, and then everyone's like, now I know you used the 2i2. Well, it sits on a shelf, never used once. In fact, this used to be mine. They're like, what was your interface? I'm like, well, I use this, and then I run this into a TDIF, 812 technology that literally went out in 2001. This went out of production in 2000. I want to say that that TDIF card by Tascam, which was only a 32-bit card. You couldn't even get 64-bit drivers. That's why I finally had to stop. I went to 64-bit, and as soon as you went to 64-bit, they never created a 64-bit driver for it. And that was pretty much the end of that. You can run 32-bit software in a 64-bit environment, but you can't run 32-bit hardware drivers in a 64-bit. That's the one thing that has to be 64-bit, because it has to put that driver in an address space, and it has to be able to address that address space, and it can't, because it doesn't see those other, the other half of that string. So I use it now, but I just run it through a TDIF into the 18i20, and then I use that to sum everything, the guitar and the voice, and then I run it out into the computer's in, and then that goes out to this. The 18i20 is a great price for what you get hardware quality. I agree. The other thing to do is it's a little trickier when you buy those used, because you don't get any support and blah, 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 all that stuff. When I was going to Germany, I bought the 18i6, which is, it's only like this big. It's got 4 on the front, I think 4 on the back. That's 8, plus another 8 ADAT and 2 for SPDIF. So there's your 18. And then it only has 6 outs, right? Probably no ADAT out, right? But it had a SPDIF out, and so there's 2 and probably 4 more, right? A master out and then 2 other sets. And I bought that on a refurb. You can go to the Focusrite site and go to their store and see if they have it on an open box or a refurb, because then you get everything. You get all the it's everything. It's like you bought it new because you're buying it from Focusrite. And even though they ship it through like the UK or Germany or something like that, it actually only takes like a couple of days. They have some super expedited service. I ordered it right before I went to Germany one year for GitCon, and I used it for the GitCon event. And I have to say, I thought it worked really well, and I saved a lot of money. I think new they were $3.99, and I want to say I paid like $2.79 or something like that. So it was a good little discount over new, and it was like brand new, and it came with full warranty and full everything because I bought it directly from Focusrite, and they said guaranteed delivery within 4 days, and it was delivered on the 4th day, right on time, like clockwork. Better. There it is. What's up, Blackjack? I feel like it's still a little out, right? Like, it turned out. Still sounds a little loud on that. That's Boston tuning. Now it's in. There it is. That sounds good. If you hit the Powerball, what are you buying? Oh, that's a good question. You know, that's a lot of money. It's a ridiculous amount of money. So, nothing too fancy. Probably a solid gold house and like a rocket car. You know, keep it simple. Wicked good enough for rock and roll. Exactly. Will it chug? I don't know. I'm not much of a chug guy. Stilts for the house. I'd probably move to a different house, to be honest. As much as I like this house, it'd be time for a it would be time for a house that didn't flood. Should we be so bold? Any thoughts on the band Rammstein? You know, I don't know much about them. Pretty big in Germany, and I think they played... Was that the band that might have played right before we did that Rockin' 1000? I think it might have been Rammstein. I don't know. I really don't know much about them. New album title, Boston Flood, exactly. Oh, thanks, Vinny P. Yeah, it was at that Frankfurt, I guess it's Deutsche Bank Arena in Frankfurt, that big arena. It's like a soccer arena by the airport. That's where everybody was staying at the airport, the airport hotels. I haven't seen the new AC/DC video. If you hit, you'd give most of it away. So would I, but probably in exchange for goods and services. It's the same thing, but and I get something in return one way. Hummingbird Pro for 400. It's pretty good. AC/DC's the only band that made the titles fall off the ceiling at the Notre Dame. Yeah, I want to say I saw them at Worcester, Boston Garden. They played a couple times. I always play the Garden, which is good. Ever play Les Paul Tribute 60? Seems like a good value. I think I did. Let me, if we're talking about the same model, I played a guitar that was like a satin brown back with a satin gold top. You know, it was like a tan back, you know, not the super light one, but certainly not the real dark one, sort of like the one in between. And had a gold top, no binding. And I might have even had the Clouson tuners, I forget now. And I'm trying to remember if it might have had P90s or it might have had humbuckers, I'm not really sure. But it was a satin thing. It was almost like you would call it a studio, I think, to some degree, right? It was very similar to a studio, but didn't have the flat top like certain guitars in the lower range. It was a carved top. Worcester. Yeah, the Desperado episode of Seinfeld was funny. What was her one? Witchy woman, right? She's like, I need one. Witchy woman. He's like, witchy woman? It's like, what's your, what's your theme song? That's probably Ice Cream Man. 2006 Satin Ebony Studio, great guitar used on multiple albums. Yeah, I think I have because a guy brought one to me one time because he was having trouble with having to stay in tune, and I just had to polish up the fret grooves a little bit with a little bit of the if you ever use the string sandpaper, it's very fine. It's meant to polish. It's like a polishing rope, and then just lubed it up, and it was like night and day. He's like, I can't believe how much of a difference that makes. I said, yeah, but it won't last. You got to keep it up with the lube. It will wear out, and then you'll change your strings. And you'll be like, oh, it's not quite the way it was. I said, you have to kind of keep up on that. It's just the nature of the beast. Did you talk about the new LP Classic prices? I did. With the LP Classic went $19.99 to $22.99. Is that the price difference? I think $22.99. Yeah, you can still get them for in the 15s, but I think they're all going to jump to the 17s. First thing you do is replace the bone nut with a factory nut with a bone nut. Yeah. I just I will go through and clean the frets up a little bit, oil the fingerboard a little bit, and then put some sort of either graphite or I've got a couple of different brands. Nut lube, and it makes a difference. And under the string trees too, I will take a little, one of them comes with like a little foam brush, so you put the lube on the end of the foam brush and you just sort of swab the underside of the string trees, and that seems to really make a difference, like a night and day difference, and how it performs. Right, with gold top. Yeah, I like the gold top. I'm ready. I'd love to get a gold top, but it's got to be the right one. But I like the 70s style with the small mini humbuckers. I like the traditional. I like the 50s. They're all pretty good. A little Iron Maiden. Let me see. Gotta be careful. I gotta be real careful. I don't know what he's talking. Quite frankly, I don't like it when people ask me, play this, play that, play this, play that. It's like, oh, what am I, jukebox? I very often I don't know any of the riffs. They're like, play Metallica. I know like 2 Metallica riffs, Top. I play the same ones over. I can't even think of a Dokken riff right now. The only reason why I played the Iron Maiden is because I happen to think of a riff right up, but it's the same riff I play over and over and over again. It's like, what's the point? Yeah, McRockin'. Yeah, I can tell you, man, it's getting humid out. I get that window open. You can feel that humidity creeping up. Yesterday it was much, much drier and cooler. You can feel it. You can feel the winds of change out there right now. It's definitely getting muggier. See if you're doing any recording riffs. You know what? I'm going through a major project right now. I don't know. You probably can't see it if I went to Cam 2 and went over there. You see how I have the synth? Do you see the guitars racked up over there? You see the synths up on the table right there? I'm cleaning out this room over here. It's like again, it's just nonstop projects. It never seems to friggin' end. But basically, over in that other section over there, I hear somebody out there. Over in that section over there, I have to do a complete. I basically have to do what I did here, which is put up a little bit of wall, because it's a concrete wall. You can't, it's so misshapen, you can't really get anything up to it. So really, you've got to build it so, I can actually hang a guitar off of it, right? Because it's like, there's nothing I can do with that space. And the space is so small, I've got to be able to go up a little bit. So, I have been working on that for like a couple of weeks. That, and don't forget, I did get the internet, boost, the 2 new switches. So I definitely have to. I can get that second switch installed. It's like one thing after another. So I have just been caught up on massive project after massive project, and I tell you, like right now, the whole back porch really needs to be rebuilt, and so does the front steps. Again, two pretty big projects for me to handle, but it's finally stopped raining. We've had like 3 days of dry weather, and it's been kind of cool, but I think it's coming back. I think we're going to rain again. So it's going to start raining again. I think for Sunday, tomorrow's going to be cloudy, and then rain on Monday, and then rain on Tuesday. It never freaking ends. Exactly, little front rage. I tried Teflon for fire rate. Oh, is that a gun lube? Yeah, Teflon lube. Yeah, Teflon works. I don't know that. See, I thought Teflon was well. It wouldn't be a problem with a guitar. I thought Teflon had a problem with heat. Right? I think once Teflon reaches a certain temperature, it starts to break down. It doesn't work as well anymore. Yeah, that's life. I know. I feel like I'm picking up and moving things around like nonstop, like moving up from here to there, to here to here, from here to there. I will say though, pretty inspiring. My dad, I went over there, and he's like, I got a bunch of tools you can take. I'm like, all right, we'll put them all together. I'll take the tools, put them out in the garage. So we're going over everything. He's 87, and we're going over. He turns 88 in January, and we're going over everything. And I went over there a couple of days ago because I took a computer. My mother managed to lock herself out, and so I had to redo it. I think I talked about it last week. I had it going. I completely wiped it out. It was all set. I had to bring that back over. I went there just a couple of days later. He had that whole room cleaned out. Like I could not believe it. I said, where did it all go? But he had another room. He threw everything in there, and he pulled one of the cars out of the garage and moved everything over there, and big giant file cabinets. I'm like, you're going to freaking kill yourself. What are you doing? But I'm like, I should probably do it around here. He had that whole room cleaned. I could not believe it. I was like, damn, that's pretty crazy. Teflon breaks down about 450. Yeah, see, because they keep trying to use it as an additive for cars, but I think cars get too hot, right? The whole thing about Teflon is they wanted to use it to help increase mileage, right? Fuel efficiency. But I think the internal combustion gets higher than 450 degrees, and so there's a problem. Mushrooms, yeah, yard has a lot of mushrooms. We had so much water this year. Just crazy. We broke the record. We have I think 23 inches of rain in 3 months. What's that in, that would be 58.5 centimeters of water in 3 months. In 90 days, we had almost 60 centimeters of water. Yeah, it was actually, it's not even 23. It's like 23 point something. It's pretty up there. I gotta find out what it is now I'm curious. Did they say it on here? No, maybe not. No, they never show the record. It's like a sort of like a one-day news. Rain clouds, blah, blah. See, they won't talk about it because we're out of September. And the only thing, wow, they're talking like 2 inches of rain coming. You cannot be serious. That is crazy. Yeah, but they took down the stats because now that we're out of September, it doesn't matter, right? It was for July, August, and September. That was the stat period. We smashed the prior record. We also broke the record for latest day that we couldn't break 70 degrees, right? So they marked that down. Like, what's the What's the first day that you break above 40 degrees, above 50 degrees, above 60 degrees, above 70, 80, 90, right? First 90-degree day of the year. And what's your last 90-degree day of the year? When's the, right? And then they look at what's the first day you can't get to 80 degrees. You can't break out of the 70s, or you can't break out of the 60s, or you can't break out of the 50s, right? And they just mark that down where it happened in the season. And we just had it for the 70s, right? We just had the first day that I think it peaked at like 67 or 68 degrees, couldn't hit 70. It smashed the prior record by 9 days. We would normally have that. That was the record, not the average. It wasn't like we were 9 days past the average. We were 9 days past the record of the latest time. That's pretty late in the season. Yeah, Boston, we got a lot of rain. I know more rain than Seattle. That's so bizarre. The DTK Jazzmaster with his Kurt Cobain one. I like his Select one. I really like that. It's a parts caster, but it's really nice. I did see the Cobain. That's not my style of guitar, though. Chicago was 15 inches rain. Deficit for September? Wow. Yeah, no, we can't break out of the rainy pattern here, man. It's like one rainy day after the next. Do I own any? Yeah, a little 10 years gone. Now, do you own any Hamers? I've never owned a Hamer. And the thing is now if you have a USA Hamer, everyone wants like $10,000 for it. And then Hamer had a period where they weren't being made that great, and then it's hard to recover from that. So I don't know who owns them now, but I've never owned a Hamer. I looked at a Hamer though in 1980 or 81. Boy, you can feel that humidity though. God damn, it is definitely shot up. What's the frickin' dew point? You can feel it. You can frickin' feel it. It's going hourly. Oh, yeah, it's up to like 58. That'll do it. It's going to hit, 61, 62 tomorrow? That's mild. We were just at 41, which is much better. Oh, my God, 58, 57, 58. Jesus. It's a mild week. Oh, my God. Gross. Go away. I want to see dew points in the 30s and 40s. Not in the 50s and 60s. Jesus. We cannot break out of this pattern, man. We have just been in a mild, wet pattern all friggin', so like pretty much for half the year. Yeah, right. The lawn looks great. Although, I'm convinced now. I got to go. I'm surprised that with all the bug spraying I do, that it hasn't affected it, but apparently it hasn't. It's grubs, the friggin' grubs. I'm pretty sure I have some grub damage. It all started to show up in like late July, and by the middle of August, I had so many brown spots on my front friggin' lawn, and it's irregular patterns. It looks like pretty much like grubs, chowing the friggin' roots. So next spring, I'm going to have to put down some sort of grub killer. Because if you don't do it early enough, there's no affecting them, right? You have to, it's like grubs are those weird bugs that you have to treat early. And it's a little tricky. I hate that, though. My lawn was looking so good. And it totally, one block looks fine, but this other block's definitely loaded up with grubs. Get some moles, they'll eat them. Well, the skunks, that's how you know you have them. The skunks will tear up the lawn. You'll see skunk claws, right? Skunks come by and they use their claws to rip up the grass and go looking for a little bit of grub dinner late at night. We don't really have shrews around here. Oh, well, now that I think about it, we might have the little shrews. Now you think about it, right? They have like a little stub tail. I guess that's a vole, right? They're poisonous, right? If they bite you, you kind of swell up, right? They have a poisonous bite. They like eat worms, and they bite them and paralyze the worm. Yeah. Get some gophers. But then you got to get something to kill the gophers. Then you got those. Then you got to get something to kill that. Never ends. Exactly, grub hub. My front lawn is a grub hub. My dad had moles, and man, he was having. Were they moles or a groundhog? He had something out there tearing his lawn up. Not tearing it up, but like making tunnels, and they would sink. And oh God, it was a nightmare. He had. We do have chipmunks though, but chipmunks don't eat grubs. Chipmunks are tiny. They eat mostly, I think, seeds and stuff, right? Thought that's what the cats are for. Well, these cats are indoor cats. We don't have any mice. They quickly killed 2 mice. But, it doesn't help with outdoor stuff. Getting Bill Murray over there, exactly. You have a couple moles, barely noticeable, yeah? Raccoons own your neighborhood, yeah. We, sometimes I'll see a raccoon around the yard, but I'll see it at night. More in the winter, not so much. It's just too busy around here. We're just too many houses. We're right on the edge of more rural land, but we're a little bit more city-like around here than I think what raccoons like to deal with. You have 85 acres, every critter you can think of. Oh my God, I can imagine. We have like 1/5 of an acre, right? 0.18 of an acre, I think is what it is. It's not even quite 20%. Seeing a mole carried off by a crow, damn. That's pretty bad. Geez, I have 12 kids. My grandfather had 136 acres up in Canada. And in front of him, the acres broke down a hill. So he was on a massive vista. It was pretty stunning views, actually, up on that big giant vista like that. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, he had 100 acres on one side of the street, and he had 36 acres on the other side. It was supposed to be 140, but they screwed it up, so it was 136. Oh, it was already dead, yeah. Steve, just want to say thank you. Inspired me to get your first PRS. There you go, and that's due custom 24, and I love it. There you go. Yeah, PRS, nice stuff. In fact, I was playing that one recently, and I was really liking it. You had a bear in your driveway. Damn. Yeah, I have a friend who lives out in Western Mass, and she would see bears out in the backyard once in a while, but never really around the house. Really, she has a really big yard and it abuts woods, really at the end. That's about it. We deer around here all the time. We have plenty of deer. And hawks. And turkey vultures. And turkeys. Had a huge turkey hop the fence to the backyard this year. First years I've seen a turkey. We see turkeys around here all the time. You'll see a whole friggin' group of them. What's a turkey called? Is it a pack of turkeys? A pride of turkeys? A flock of turkeys? I think it's, trying to think. Crows, it's a murder of crows. Lots of hawks for sure. Absolutely. Right? It's the local Air Force. Going a little fast here. Steve just got a Charvel SoCal. Nice guitars. Is it a gang of turkeys? Yeah. It's a gaggle of geese. A jerky of turkey, a flash mob. Feels like they are a flash mob. I tell you, turkeys can be pretty aggressive, especially when they're in a mob. They strengthen numbers. They've been known to chase women with baby carriages. For real. Yeah, gang of turkeys. That sounds about right. Steve the Blackstone Free AST app plugin sounds very good. It'll be a free download. Okay. Yeah, watching a murder chase a hawk. Yeah. Yeah, you see that around here, right? A crow mob. Right. Right, a mob of crows. Exactly, it's a Brett Weir of turkeys. I tell you, you know what? Let's see if anyone can relate to this. You ever get a sub? Today it happened to be an Italian sub. And you're just like, this is the lamest goddamn sub ever. Because the kid who made it, you know, like when you say like, yeah, I'll take an Italian, everything but hots. You know, everything but tomatoes, including hots. I want hots, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, so, like, what do you want on that? Are you asking me what makes up an Italian sub? It's like, and I swear to God, they put, like, ham on it. I'm like, hey, did you put ham on this Italian sub? Because they're clueless. It was like the worst friggin' Italian sub I can remember having in a long time. I'm like, this is really bad. And you know, it's like some 16-year-old whipped that up, and they're like, oh, what goes on in Italian? They're like American cheese. They wind up making them like an American. Oh, it's just the worst. God. It's like if you ever go to an ice cream parlor, and you say, yeah, I'll take a banana split, and they go, what do you want on it? Walk out. Okay? If you don't know what makes up a banana split, we got problems. It's a formula. There's a goddamn recipe. Came for the riff, staying for the turkey talk. Exactly. We'll try and get the turkeys here. We'll go ring the turkey bell. Turkey? Might need a lower bell. Here, we'll do it down here. Yeah, I think we got to do these 2 strings. There we go. We'll bring the turkeys in. Come on, turkey. Gobble. Where are they? Oh, Brian from Oregon. Damn, bro. You're trying to be the best sub ever. No, you rock. Okay, you're making up for that shitty Italian sub I had today. There's nothing worse. Nothing can make your day go down the crapper faster than a shitty hoagie. You know what I'm saying? You're going, you're buying a sub. You're all looking forward to it. You open it up. You're like, the hell is this crap? Who made this? Helen Keller? For Christ's sakes. That's how you end a song. Shame flute. That's no flute. It's a bell. I don't know the flute sound. Picked up an 80s Farrington Strat. Oh, nice. 300 Canadian. That's pretty good price, actually. Those are going up. Those Farringtons are going up because, you know, nostalgia. Shame bell. Yeah, so I think it works. You can use any 2 strings. I think it works best when one of the strings is plain and one of the strings is wound. That's going to set up your your D and your G string. And what you got to do is you got to cross them over, right? You see that? They got to cross over each other. And so there's got to be a cross point here and a cross point here, right? You're spreading them apart. And then you got to give them a little pluck. Shame. You do it a little lower, like down here. Sounds more like a bell. Shame. 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 What pickups are in the Charvel? These are Duncan's. Let's go to Duncan Cam. That is a JB, and a 59. Got your JB, you got your 59. I'm not crazy that they put the Duncan. Usually the 59 doesn't come with the branding on it because they want to make it a little bit more like vintage spec. But this one definitely is a 59. It's got one lead and a braid, and that's it. It's a straight up 59. But it's branded for some reason. I guess because it's a deal that they do with Charvel. Get the name on there. There's a lot to love about. There's a lot to love about you. Is that the new Toyota-thon? There's a lot to love about. There's a lot to love about you. I'm surprised the kitties aren't in the window. Oh, she's in the window. They're up in the window. They're in the window. You just can't see them because they're right up against the. They're right up against the screen. Yeah, there's no coil tapping on this particular one. This is just your single knob, your single switch. Didn't even need that if they put one pickup in it, but luckily there's two pickups. I like two pickups. I like to go over to the neck and. Exactly how many names are on it? It's like a NASCAR. It's like a goddamn NASCAR. Am I getting some boxes delivered? Yeah. All right. Okay. Nice. 50 feet of snow. See, my biggest fear is that so the one thing that we pretty much get around here is cold enough air that the snow, when it falls, is can be light and fluffy. It's pretty easy to get rid of. Down in like New York, New Jersey, they're more likely to get wet, heavy snow that's much harder to move, but they turn to rain more, all that stuff. That is shifted up to us. Now we get the wet, heavy stuff. It's almost impossible to get rid of. It's crazy. Oh, thanks, SMY Tree. Thanks for another fabulous Saturday evening hangout. Cheers, SFB, and everyone in the chat. You know you are. Thanks, buddy. Much appreciated. Did I mention DLR is retiring? We did. We did. And we covered a lot of old jokes, too. And we covered the Gibson pricing. And we covered everything that happened this week. Everything. But mostly what was up with me. That was it. What's the next bar? I think it's just a straight up. Just a block. Blockaroo. Nothing too fancy. Yeah. Dang, I'm getting hungry though. That Italian sub sucks so bad. I'm ready to get actually a decent meal. God, it was horrible. And again, I don't want to tell you how to make a sub, but on an Italian sub, you put a little oregano. I mean, it's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing. Exactly, oil and vinegar, but really not even vinegar, just really oil, like olive oil, a little bit of oregano, and then a bunch of chopped veggies and the meat. It was a terrible sub. We do have one place around here that does a pretty good one. For the best Italian sub, I'd have to drive over to Hyde Park, right on the edge of Boston, and there's an Italian neighborhood called Reedville. That's actually where I grew up. I grew up in Reedville. And long after I moved out of the neighborhood, a sub shop went in there called Tutto Italiano, which means everything Italian, all Italian. And they pretty much had the best Italian sub around. I mean, it was, he had he paid like $30,000 in like 1981 or so, 82. It was like maybe 84, 85. It was in the mid 80s to have a special brick oven brought over from Italy so he could make his own bread in there. And his bread, my God, he sells so much friggin' bread. And his Italian subs on the fresh baked friggin' bread, my God, stunning. Pretty stunning. That place. You want the best Italian sub in Boston? That's got to be up there. Kudos. Though I'm sure he's passed on by now. God, he was elderly in the 90s, you know. Live in a rural wasteland. No good pizza or hoagies. Yeah, that sucks. You know, am I doing a U up? If I'm up, you know, it's that those are always hit or miss. You never know. If I'm awake. Really, what it comes down to is whether I have coffee. Ping us if I'm up late. Well, the best way to do it is when you subscribe, hit that little bell. I think that's the only way you get notified when I go live. I think if you do that, when I go live, you'll get a little notification that that I'm live now. I think if you don't ping the bell there, if that's not enabled, then you only know if you happen to go on YouTube and you see him running a live show. Exactly, Speaker. River Street. Pretty much, you know, you're at the edge of the city, right? I mean, it turns from Boston to not Boston, right? Suffolk County to Norfolk County in what, about 500 feet? You know, maybe 1,000 feet? And then you're in Dedham. Well, there's actually a real Italian sub. Oh my God, yeah. No, dude. No, there's a real Italian sub. And that's the other thing. A real Italian sub is supposed to have like capicola, mortadella, right? Provolone. There's a salami, sometimes a hot ham or like a hot salami, right? There's a makeup to making up that friggin' sub. And a good Italian sub is damn good. The worst is when you go to get an Italian, and they're like, "You want mayo on that?" I'm like, "On an Italian, with cold cut, with salami and mayo? No. It's like olive oil and oregano. Really, that's the only thing. And then of course you put like hots, you know, pickles, onions, lettuce." Right, a lot of people like tomatoes, but I'm a fan of cold tomatoes on an Italian sub. But a lot of people like tomatoes, and there it is. But no, an Italian sub, an American sub's a thing too. Where's the best clams? Probably Woodman's. I mean, who's the Clam Shack, right? Listen, you want clams in Massachusetts, you go to Ipswich, right? Pretty much. River Street Car Wash, yeah. Maracio's Market. Yeah, provolone, right? Genoa salami, imported mortadella, hot capicola. That sounds about right. Yeah, that's right, Bobby. That sounds about right. Is it red wine vinegar? I could see that working. But mayo? No. That's like when you get a gobbler. A gobbler usually comes with turkey, cranberry sauce, and stuffing, right? It's to recreate a Thanksgiving meal, right? It's stuffing and cranberry sauce. And people will go, you want mayo on that? On a gobbler? With cranberry sauce and stuffing? Do I want mayo? They're like, people get it. I'm like, no. I would never even consider that. I don't want mayo on my steak either. So I couldn't do lunch today. Next week, yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll get the. I'll see if I can do it. We'll get that. We'll get that line pulled. Kelly's, yeah, Kelly's. If you want fries or rings or both, yeah, Kelly's is real good. What sucks is that they used to have a Kelly's out in Framingham in the in that big Jordan's furniture store, and they moved out. They closed down. So I think if you want to go to Kelly's, I don't even know if they're open in Saugus anymore. Kelly's might be down to just Revere Beach at this point. Another good one would be who makes good clams is especially steamers or I had the other day. I had mussels the other day. God, I loved it. Big plate of mussels. Is Jasper's, right? Jasper White's Summer Shack. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, bacon jam on a burger actually is pretty big. You see that coming out. Bacon jam is kind of a thing right now. Bacon jam is the new avocado. Or guacamole. The thing is that the other thing is the chicken sandwich has completely wrecked the friggin' fast food industry. Taco Bell has come out with a goddamn chicken sandwich. They couldn't ignore it. They couldn't ignore that chicken sandwich frenzy. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll figure it out. How many cats? Yeah, we have 4 indoors. Same thing. Bacon goes with everything, even bacon. I tell you, I got some scallops the other night, right? And it's supposed to come with like a succotash, like a corn thing. But I tell you, it was not that tasty. It was kind of bland. Yeah, it was an expensive restaurant. I took it home. I took like half of it home. I only ate like half of it. The mussels and the appetizers and calamari were so much better. And then for later the next day, I took it out, just threw a little salt and pepper on it, and heated it up. My God, it was like night and day. What a difference. The flavors infused overnight. Add a little bit of salt to bring out the flavors a little bit more. A little bit of pepper to spice it up a little bit. Add a little bit more flavoring to it. Oh, my God. It was like the tale of 2 dishes. What a difference. So... mussels are amazing with the nice big tostinis, right? Big crusty breads. Makes you want to go out and just go grab some mussels. All right, dudes. Well, you know what? It's 9 o'clock, and all that food talk has made me hungry. So I am going to head upstairs and let the family out of lockdown. Although I've heard them moving around quite a bit, so apparently they're just walking around anyway. And I'll see you guys in a week. super thanks and anyone who hung out tonight, but extra super mega special thanks to anyone who contributed. Especially Brian from Oregon. That was quite a contribution. Much appreciated, very much appreciated. And of course, mega bro hugs and shout outs to me Mod Squad, #Mod Squad. And Krell Bar, if you're still in the chat, we're going to be probably starting up a Halloween episode soon. So we'll talk. Filming starts right after Columbus Day. We'll figure it out. All right, dudes. Well, I will see you guys in a week. You have a wonderful week. I'll see you then. All right. All right, guys. #Mod Squad. No, you rock. All right, dudes. Have a good one. And I'll see you in a week. Later.